Hi, friends. Come say hi to me when you're here live with me or you're catching the replay. Let me know that you're here with me. So today we're going to talk about my tips on each authority, and I'm going to go through all 5 authorities in human design on how to make decisions according to your design. Okay, so I'm going to get started. So first you need to pull your human design chart. That's step 1, to pull your human design chart. And you will look under your authority. So this is how you make decisions. So your authority is your inner compass. Making decisions with your authority will always bring you closer to your desire. So if this is something that you want to know, keep watching. Remember, you are the leader of your own life, and you know yourself the best. So starting with the sacral authority. So this would be if you are a manifesting generator or a generator. My first tip to connect with this authority is take in a deep breath and check in with the level of excitement you feel in your gut around this decision. So basically how exciting or how excitement is present for you. So a heavy feeling that pulls you down or sounds like a is a no. A neutral feeling that sounds like is I don't know. This could indicate that you need to maybe get clearer options on how to respond at the moment to connect to your body. So a feeling of lightness that is a drawing energy from your sacral and opens up to your heart space is a yes for you. So my tip for a sacral authority is if you're having trouble, double check in with your sacral center. This becomes an anxious mental chatter that you could try breath work. I have tons of breath work and guided meditations on my YouTube channel and here in the group. So if you need them, let me know. Drop that in below. I would be happy to send them to you, any of you guys. And if you're with me live, let me know your authority. I would love to connect with any more emotional authorities, because I'm an emotional authority. So the next authority that we're going to do is I'm going to do emotional authority. So for an emotional authority, give yourself time to ride out the highs and lows of your emotional wave before making decisions. So you'll receive important insight as how you'll feel through a decision and emotions that surface. So your process takes time, so release the pressure to make an instant decision before you're ready. If your emotions feel intense, then move that energy in your body. Like this could be with breath work, this could be working out, etc. So if you are an emotional authority and you are a generator, you need to go back to like a minute ago when I was explaining the emotional authority, because you'll want to check in with your gut after riding the emotional wave. Okay. So the third authority. So we already went over the first one, which is a sacral authority. I just went over the emotional authority, and now we're on to a splenic authority. So if you are a splenic authority, this is the question you need to ask yourself all the time. What is your intuition telling you about this decision? So when this situation or possibility enters your field, which would be your aura, same thing with the energy type, did you sense? Meaning you need to listen to your instincts once you first sense this. So if you're in the process of strengthening your intuition, then I would suggest write down whatever comes through to you and give yourself permission to step away. You might not get the intuitive feelings again. So instead of looking for reassurance, practice affirming or saying this affirmation. I trust my intuition. It guides me where I'm meant to go. So a tip for splenic authority is if you're noticing a lot of mental chatter interfering with your process when meditating, again, go to my meditations, go to a meditation on YouTube, or practice breath work, because spending time in nature also can clear your mind and return back to your inner knowing. Okay, so for the fourth one is an ego authority. So if you have an ego authority, this means you have to validate your desires and simply ask yourself, do I want the outcome of this decision? So give yourself permission to just want what you want and say yes and no from that place. That's simply it. So when you're making a decision, make sure you're checking in and asking yourself, do I really want to do this or receive this? Or am I considering it because I think it'll get me something else I want? It's a very important question. So bring your awareness to any limiting beliefs or social conditioning that could cloud your judgment and make you think maybe that you're selfish or you really don't deserve this. These thoughts were likely something you learned growing up, and acknowledge them, but return back to what you actually want. So for the next authority is self-projected authority. So what this authority is the process that the details and feelings that come up around this decision by taking it in or by talking it out loud. Whether that's recording a voice memo, speaking out loud as you journal, or bouncing ideas off of somebody else. So if you're receiving support from another person, make sure that you talk to the right people, basically those who can expand basically who you want to be. You're manifesting and believing that it's possible, and you won't be projecting your own opinions or fears onto them. So a really important tip of this self-projected authority is remembering you're not looking for advice. You're looking for people who can listen and reflect what you're sharing. It's important to tell people what you need up front if you've never done this before or with others. So the next authority is an environmental authority. So this is tuning in and noticing the information and signs you're receiving from your environment around this decision. Rather than getting caught up in your mind or breathing, or bring your full awareness to the energy you're taking in through all of your defined and open centers in your chart. So a tip for an environmental authority is if you're making an important decision, then try pulling yourself into the environment that aligns with when you're manifesting. So this would be an environment that you could see your future self in, and a check-in, maybe change. This is a question you could possibly ask yourself. Does this help change how you feel about this decision? And the last authority is a lunar authority. So what this means is you'll give yourself time to follow the lunar cycle and let clarity surface over the course of the month around this decision. So basically what this means is waiting a full lunar cycle, which would be 28 days, is not necessarily for every decision, just the big ones. So you may receive clarity around a decision before a full cycle comes to a close, but either way, give yourself that permission to take that 28 days. So give yourself space to be in your own energy so you can process the information you're receiving from your undefined and open centers, because that's important. So this lunar authority, a lot of reflectors have lunar authorities, and this is the only energy type that has a lunar authority. So a lot of people don't even know what a lunar authority is, because a lot of people are not reflectors. But if you do know a reflector, this is their authority. So just a recap on how to make decisions. So basically, your authority is your inner compass. Making decisions with your inner authority will always bring you closer to your desires. Remember, you are the leader of your own life, and you know what's best for you. And to go through the authorities again, the first one is sacral, then there's emotional, then the third one is splenic, The fourth one is ego. The fifth one is self-projected authority. The sixth one is environmental authority. And the seventh one is a lunar authority. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if I see a couple people with me here. Let me know in the comments if this was helpful for you, and let me also know what authority that you are so we can support you. And if you have any questions on how to move more towards your authority, drop them also in the comments. And if you are practicing making aligned decisions for your energy type or authority, let me know that as well. All right, guys, you guys have an amazing day, and let me know how you liked this training. I'm doing things a little bit different, so let me know. This will be on my YouTube as well, so you could always catch the replay. But anyway, guys, have a great day.